Hello everyone, welcome to the ichimokocharts.com daily analysis for the S&P 500 for Tuesday, August the 30th, 2011. Well, a continuation of the trend to the upside today. Yesterday's candle, we had a candle that made a higher high and a higher low and changed the trend to the upside. Today we've had a continuation of that trend with a candle making a higher high and a higher low. A little bit of a worry here for the bulls. We can see that we have a very small body on this current candle, and a very large reduction in the size of the body. Now it is green, it means that the buyers made net bullish progress, but they made a significantly less amount than the previous day's trading and the day before that. So that does suggest potential for a change of trend to the downside when the buyers are losing momentum by looking at the size of the body of the candles. This is also a spinning top type candle, and we can see the shadow on the top of the candle and on the bottom. And the shadow on the top represents downside price rejection of the buyers losing commitment, and the shadow on the bottom represents the sellers losing commitment and upside price rejection. Now, the market lost that commitment at both ends at important areas of support and resistance, and the 1200 round number support was where the market attempted to trade down through and the buyers came back in, but the buyers also lost commitment around the 1219 region and at the Kijun-sen, and we highlighted that previously, that the Kijun-sen had potential to offer resistance to this market, and that's exactly what's happened for today's trading. Now, there is still a chance that the market will continue trending up. The trend is up, and that's the overall defining thing here, and we do need confirmation of a change of trend. So the low and the area around 1200, the round number support for this market, becomes very, very important for a potential change of trend. If the trend is to continue, we do have, once again, resistance offered at the Kijun-sen at 1220 and higher levels, 1232, 1246, all the way up to the top of the cloud. Now, in Ichimoku charts terms, the market is trading below the cloud, so we have an overall negative bias in the market. Also trading below the Kijun-sen, so the market is technically bearish in the medium-term time frame, but trading very close to it, almost close enough to be neutral. Quite often, as we've seen when we've seen the market attracted back towards the Kijun-sen, that area will hold as resistance and the market will sell off there, so there is potential for that to happen. The market is, however, trading up above the Tenkan-sen, the green line here, and that suggests that the market is bullish in the fast-term time frame and has been for the previous 5 days or so. Looking at the ticker span here, that is below the corresponding price action. That's confirming the overall outlook that is bearish in this market at the moment, and does suggest that there is still potential for this market to come off and trade to lower levels. Now, if we do trade to lower levels below 1200, we do have support at 1183, 1173, and extending a fair way down to around 1100. So very solid support down below, matching the large amount of resistance that we have overhead in this market. And this market, in big picture terms, has been congesting. Although we have had a change of trend in the second time frame, which is quite important, but we see the market capitulating as we've just taken out that previous peak for a change of trend with this spinning top type candle. Now, for tomorrow's trading, obviously watch the area around 1200, the round number, and just below with the low of the current candle, but certainly the resistance around 1219, 1220 is very important as well. Now moving on to light sweet crude oil, we can see that we have the market continuing the trend to the upside and a relatively large green-bodied candle, not as large as the previous day's trading, but certainly large enough to signify that the bulls are attempting to maintain that momentum that they've got to the upside. We do have a small shadow, or relatively large shadow, but small in terms of those previously, on the bottom of this candle, and that suggests the sellers lost commitment as the market was trading down around 86.5, and we can see that this short-term level here, this minor swing high, that there was previously downside price rejection from that region, resistance, and that area is now acting as support for this market. The market is interacting with this potential resistance around 89, and we can see that that was a major swing high, and we have traded to that region, but no real sell-off as we've tested that area, so that is an important area for the market to trade through if the trend is to continue to the upside. Solid resistance expected at 90 if the trend does continue, and also up to around 92.57. Now the market has taken out the Kijun-sen, which could be significant, and it's taken out in a bullish way, where we've had the bulls closing with control of this market by closing up towards the high of the current candle. So there is potential for this market to trade higher. In Ichimoku charts terms, we're trading down below the cloud, so the market is bearish in the long-term time frame. Now bullish in the medium-term and fast-term time frame by trading up above the Kijun-sen and Tenkan-sen, and that bullish breakout above the Kijun-sen is a bullish signal in Ichimoku charts, but it is a fairly weak signal because it has occurred down below the cloud, so that's important. So probably if you're risk averse, it might be a trade to take, although do bear in mind that we have close by solid resistance at 90. Looking at the Chikou span, that's below the corresponding price action, so that's confirming the negativity that we're seeing in big picture terms in this market. So obviously for tomorrow's trading, the high of the current candle is very important, 89 roughly, for a potential test to 90. But certainly watch down around the low, watch to lower levels 85 for this resistance to hold. If we do see any negativity coming into this market, any bearishness, then there is potential for the market to trade down to 85.11. Next, moving on to gold, and previous day's trading we had a candle that continued the trend to the upside with a higher high and a higher low. Today's trading, we've had a candle making another higher high and a higher low, continuing that trend to the upside once again. Previous day's trading, there was potential for a change of trend with the bears having control of this market and a fairly large red-bodied candle. And we did highlight the fact that we needed confirmation of a change of trend, so the low of that candle was very important. Confirmation of that change of trend would have been a lower high and a lower low on the candle for today's trading, but that didn't happen. The market failed to take out the previous low, so the bears certainly didn't show any commitment to taking this market lower, whereas the bulls did show some commitment throughout the trading day by taking out the previous high. Although they did lose that commitment as they were trading up there, we can see the shadow on the top of the candle, and that represents a loss of commitment by the bulls. However, the candle colour is green, so that is bullish, and it means that the buyers have made net bullish progress between the open and the close. And they have closed up above the midpoint level and towards the high, so they have closed this market with control, although, as we said, they did lose some commitment. Now, we have also had the market close in a fairly bullish way above the resistance offered at 18.14. So that could be significant for this market. We may see this market trade to higher levels and potentially test up to around this area above 1900 once again. We do need to watch the high of the current candle for that potential continuation of the trend to the upside. Now, in Ichimoku charts terms, we are trading above the cloud, so the market has an overall positive bias. We have the market trading above the Kijun-sen, so the market maintains its bullishness in the medium-term time frame. And as we've mentioned previously, it's been some time since we've been trading below that Kijun-sen, and the market now has been bullish in its manner today, and certainly doesn't suggest any potential to trade back towards the Kijun-sen. One thing to be aware of, though, is that the Kijun-sen has turned flat, and while that is flat, there is potential for the market to trade back towards it. So we do need to keep a close eye on the low of the current candle for any potential test down to those lower levels. That will offer itself a support to the Kijun-sen at 17.58 if the market does come off in the next day or so. In terms of the Tenkan-sen, the green indicator, the market is now trading up above there, so we have had the market turn bullish in the fast-term time frame as well. So bullish in all three time frames. It does set the market up for a potential test up to the area roughly around 1920. The Chikou span is above the corresponding price action, so it's confirming the bullishness that we're seeing overall in this market. So certainly watch the high of current candle around 1840 for a potential continuation of the trend, but do watch the low around 1794.84 for a potential test to the flat Kijun-sen.